Why, hello there, wizards and warriors alike. Sean Nelson here from Pen and Blade. And in this episode, we're going to be drawing a map from above view like this of a medium-sized region and using this topographical style for the mountains. And and some of these, this key that I created over here, which I think is pretty simple. You know, we got the village, town, walled town, city, walled city. Basically, you just put a circle around something to denote that it's walled. So here we have Dengalad is the walled city, and then there's a castle. So there's something over here. Where else I can draw in here? There's something over there that that they don't want to come in here. And see, there are two passes in the mountain between here. And I think you can instinctually tell. It's interesting that this topography, even if you don't know how to read a topographic map, you can instinctually tell like what's going on. Like, can you see that there's a shelf area? Yeah, let's get a light color. That this is like a big old shelf area. Oops, let me put that underneath. Where it's like flat, but then there's this kind of mountains on both sides. Here we have a little monastery. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's got like, there's a little flat area. There's some caves behind the monastery. Here's some caves down here too. Oops. So let's just go ahead and get started on a fresh map and have some fun. We'll use a random region generator to name them. This one I just did random names. Cool. Let's do it. Alright. So perhaps I'll just start with a random name to give me an idea of what we're going to do. And maybe it'll be the name of the biggest city. The city or the castle. So we've got 30. Or was that 3? I think it was 3 and 52. 3, forest, and 52. Shrine. Oh, forest shrine. And then should we make it a terrain? Yeah, I guess so. Not an island, right? Or should we do Forest Shrine Island? No, let's do a terrain. I like the idea of using the maps to 14. Wait, but what if it's like Forest Shrine Falls? Interesting. Alright. So this will be cool. So we'll make... So to make the mountains, basically... Alright, I'm gonna... Oops. Should we use green? Yeah, why don't we use a greenish color? But I'll make it a little darker. So to make the mountains, I like to start with a shape. A snaky shape, and don't be afraid to make it irregular. Alright, and then maybe I'll put another one here. And that right there is going to become a pass between the mountains. And then maybe we'll put one more here. Alright, and you'll see we can build these up higher or lower depending on how we put the other lines. So one thing I might do next is actually just decide, okay, how gradual is the slope going down? If I put a line close like this, that means it's very steep. But let's say the line goes farther. And now we've connected these two mountains too. All of these mountains actually into one range. You can just kind of do it randomly and see what happens too, and you'll get some fun ideas. Alright, I'm getting a little glare, but that's okay. So now here in the forest is the best place to do the map making. Or at least I like to think of it as a forest. So it's cool that we've got this right here. This looks like where we're going to have our waterfall, right? I wanted to make it a bigger area. So let's make the waterfall this whole area right there. And have our... I wanted to make it a more zoomed in area. So and have our river running like something like this. And then maybe you can even spread out a bit. There's like a rock here. It goes around and heads off this way. Alright, and the other thing that I've been liking to do is put a forest. So let's frame the rest of this area with a forest. So just make it all bushy, and then do kind of circles, but don't close the circles all the way. I think it's better when you don't close them and just kind of go like that. Alright, so we got a little forest. And what was the name of this place again? Forest Shrine Falls. So the Forest Shrine Falls will be somewhere over here. So maybe I like to put a little cloud to denote that it's a waterfall. Usually you can get a better angle. So I would rather do a waterfall like this. See how that kind of shows that it's a waterfall, but wanted to stick it in that one spot. So we're going to pretend this is a real region, and I just got to work with what I got. Put some lines for streams. Maybe put a rock in there, a more insubstantial rock. One right there. And got a cool little river going on. And then where are we going to put our shrine? So our shrine might be a little town. The towns were circles. Yeah. No, village with circles. Towns are squares. And stars are cities. So a little tiny village. And the name was Forest Shrine Falls. So I would like to do a new layer. And look, I'll just put Forest Shrine. I'm going to make it one word. Look, I'm going over everything. It's okay, falls, because I'll show you right now. We're going to make another layer underneath the word layer, and we're going to make it a pure white color. And then we're going to come in here and just color underneath to make it look like we erased out the area underneath so we could read what we've written. Alright, cool. So we're going to got to finish the topography we've begun. So let's get back to that. Oops. There we go. Nice green color. And then let's decide, like, okay, so let's say I want to keep going here. And I guess the waterfall's coming out of a cave. Alright. We're going to make, just keep going in, and you might make a little one like that. That's like a peak. Alright. There's a gap between them. Oh, I can go underneath because, oops, well, I didn't paint under there, but we'll go back and do that. And then you keep going and keep making it smaller. Until you've filled up the whole thing. A little dot there. Go like this. And maybe we'll make one. And this could be a great peak. You know what? Let's name that peak. Alright, actually, let's make that peak higher. So how are we going to make that peak higher? We're going to add more lines, because each line, I think, is like a certain number of feet up. So the more you add, the higher it's going to get. So look at that. That peak is just like a shink. It's like a blade cutting through the sky. Let's see what it is called in this lands. By rolling on our random region generator, we're going to get a 63, and we're going to get a 24. 24 is Angel. Oh, what a great name. And 63 is Vale. Angel Vale Peak. Look at that. This could be coming right out of a Twilight movie. Angel Vale Peak. Wow. I don't want it to be confused with the peak on the right, which is actually, wait for it, not Angel Vale Peak. It's its sister peak, 428. For Berry. Spearberry. Okay, so this one's going to be like pointing up straight like a spear. So let's make it really, maybe put even a little extra thing like that. Really try to make it look like it's shooting up there. So this is Spearberry Peak. Oops, I put Spearberry Peak on the wrong level. This will not do. This will not do. I must erase it. I have to start over. It's okay, it's good practice. We're gonna go back to our first layer. We're gonna we'll start off, it's not too steep, and then all of a sudden it gets really steep like that. Whatever, it'll work. Let's just go with it. Spear. About that. Spearberry, of course it's one word. Peak. I wonder what the lore of Angel Vale Peak and Spearberry Peak are. Well, clearly Spearberry was where some like ancient deity or speared some ancient berry relic, maybe the first berry. Perhaps he speared it and then the pieces of it rained down. You see, it rained down upon the lands. And it filled the lands, and this land is full of berries, you see. This land is one of the richest, they produce the most berries. And you know what? We're going to have a city called Something Berry. Alright, let's go. Let's just roll our D100. 88. 88, alright. Let's see what's down here. We got low berry, alright? Because in the lowlands down here, the berries grow in the mountains, in the mountain sides, the most tasty berries, alright? Spearberry Peak, don't even get me started. And so, until they take their stuff downriver. So the biggest town, so let's build the first, let's make it a city. You know what? Let's dare to make it a city. So the first city will be right there. Oops, a lot smaller. And is it a walled city? No, I don't think so. The people of Spearberry, the Spearbarians, so like barbarians. That's great. So they're barbarian like esque. So they don't build walled cities because they believe walls are for cowards. And I mean, how can you argue with that? Then there's going to be a monastery here. All right, and it'll be a village. There'll be a village, but then there'll also be a monastery up in the mountains, all right? And see, this means, like, there's not much elevation here. So you know what? I think we're going to add one more level, which is going to make this part, look at how steep this area has become. Because I want this monastery to be a little higher up. You know, it's going to feel like, I want it to feel like it's up in the mountains. Okay. And if you want to cheat, you could just do something like that. I think that's fine. Maybe that denotes that, you know, there's more elevation here, but then it like fizzles off and it's a less of a steep incline in that area. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't think it messes things up too bad, but otherwise you would go all the way around. I don't know, you guys let me know. I think that's like technically cheating for a topographic map, but whatever. Or if not, you would just go like that. I don't like that, it's too busy. Okay, cool. So we got Spearberry Peak. I don't know why it looks like Spearberry Peak. Hold on, let me just fix the K a little bit. Alright, you guys. Spearberry Peak. Forest Shrine Falls. There's going to be a forest shrine up here. Oh yeah, there is right there. We already got that. Spearberry Peak. So we've got the Spearberry Monastery. Let's just, you know it's the Spearberry Monastery because it's named after the peak. And then the town below the Spearberry Monastery, should we give it a name? Let's name it after something different. Let's name it after Monster List, Races. Alright, let's put a fantasy race in there. So let's roll a d10. Perhaps these are the servants of the Spearberry, those who live in the Spearberry Monastery. And traditionally these servants are... Where is it? Where's my d10? Oh, here it is. 5. Oops. Dragonborn. Dang, they got some Dragonborn servants up in the village. So it's going to be called Dragonborn. And then we'll go and roll the d100, the 100. 40. Dragonborn Passage. Alright, I guess it's Dragonborn Passage Town. Maybe you cannot... perhaps all the people, maybe what is it? Okay, hold on. So the berry, the first berry, the primordial berry that gave birth to every other variety of berries, was actually the heart of an ancient dragon. See what I'm saying? And when this warrior, but it was like Tiamat or whatever, like the evil dragon, alright? Dragon, the original evil dragon. And so he was stabbed through the heart here on Spearberry Peak, they say, or maybe he impaled it upon the peak itself. And the berry exploded, and the blood that came out, I know this is getting pretty intense, it fell to the ground in droplets, and those droplets became the first berries that grew into berry bushes all around this area, all around. Alright? But on Angel Vale Peak watched over a more benevolent deity who watched this battle and felt mercy or pity upon the dragon. Maybe the dragon creature wasn't evil, it was actually the good guy, and it got killed. And then so he brought it back to life and blessed the berries or something. I don't know, man. But then the dragon maybe became evil after that, because then he was like, I was defeated and I have no heart. He has no heart anymore. So the Dragonborn have to bring berries up into the mountains, into the monastery, and that's like a sacrifice. They sacrifice berries to replenish the dragon's heart so that it will not grow angry and wreak havoc upon all the lands. Boom. That's the story. And then let's name the city down here. right? 95, 77, 95, 77 foot, 95, 77. Bluefoot, the city of Bluefoot. That's all. No explanation, no reason required. I think it speaks for itself. The city of Bluefoot is called the city of Bluefoot because for obvious reasons. All right. And this is actually fine, I'll tell you guys, in case you're a little slow or something. Ugh. Very tedious. It's because there's so many blueberries being traded there that they fall all over the floor. And if you walk along there, you're going to end up with blue feet because the blueberries are the most common. Alright? That's it. I'm sure you already knew that, though. Okay, so the city of Bluefoot is the main trading place where they send stuff downstream. And I'm thinking let's add one more terrain feature. And let's leave it at that, because we could just keep going and keep going, but I think we already have enough here to make an interesting, an interesting story. Well, there's a couple things I want to add. So we already got a forest. Let's add more forest, alright? Just to get a little bit extra forest going on. We'll just fill up this area. So down here it's the wildlands, and I think it's okay to go overlap forest like that. It just looks like it's even thicker forest, right? Or no? Should I just erase this out? Oops. No, I'm on my wrong layer. Whatever, we're almost near the end, so I'll just leave it alone. Pretend that didn't happen. Alright, so next we're going to add one more terrain feature somewhere around here, but first I wanted to add a little farming village and show that you can use opposite checker marks like that from directly above to denote farmland. I think that's a nice way to denote farmland. And then maybe there's a little tributary river, so there's this Angel Peak Falls. It also has a fall, but it's a smaller tributary. Runs through these lands. Oops. But now it's making it look like our lands are bigger. So let's thicken that up, and then you'll see how it'll affect the scales. It'll make things look closer together. And I should have made the village icons bigger, much bigger, I think, actually, now that I'm looking at it. But whatever, we're learning together. And if you guys make any maps like this, you got to share them with me on the Discord and let me know what you've learned so that we can expedite this learning process. So it looks like we're going to need a bridge somewhere around here. Just throw one of those in there, like that. And a path to Bluefoot. And then maybe make that like that. So let's up the scale just for the sake of fun. Alright, we're gonna make all these things bigger. That's bigger. And that's bigger. We didn't put a castle, man. So I wanted to put that. Let's make this a little bigger. Or a lot bigger even. Because look at that. It's a big old city. And then I gotta put some white under there. You can read it. Bluefoot. Alright, it's not the best, alright, but I think you see the point. Doesn't that make it look like it's a lot closer to get from Bluefoot to Dragonborn Passage? Forest Shrine Falls. Let's make that a little bigger. Oops. What the? Okay, whatever. I got my layers all messed up. My bad, you guys. We make Forest Shrine Falls a little bigger. Cool. I should have just redrawn this because it's too thick. Alright, so the last thing we're going to do, we'll roll one more random region, and let's put a monster name in that region. Why not? So let's get a monster name up in here. We're going to have a 10 on the monster list. We got devils. That's pretty messed up. And we're going to have a 23 and then a 14. So 23 up in here. 23. A good devil. Oh, man. And 14, did I say? 14. Good Devil Falls. Alright, I guess that's what this one is here. Oh, weird. What does that mean? We got Angel Vale Peak. What's a vale? I don't even know, honestly. And then we've got Good Devil Falls. Wow, interesting. Oh, and that's an interesting little, what is it? Like a riddle, not a riddle, but like, it's like a message, like the Good Devil Falls. What does that mean? Maybe he fell to evil? Is that... I don't know, man. You guys, there's something deep there, and I'm going to need your help to figure it out. Let me know in the comments below. What is the significance and relationship between Angel Vale Peak, Good Devil Falls, and the lore we've already established of Spearberry Peak? I'd love to hear your discoveries. Let's add a couple little... Hold on, I'm almost done. I want to add some of these, though. And then more farmland. Some farmland. See how this is gonna like fill up the land. We're farming berries, of course. Just berry farms as far as the eye can see. Put like a hill here so that it's not like all berry farms and mix it up a tiny bit. And that's it. You can have berry farms on the hill. Put some berry farms on the hill, baby. I don't know if that works. You gotta let me know. Anyways, that's it. I think we're good to go. Peace, guys.